Hi guys, Stu here from AnalogX AI. I thought I would do a quick video for you just to show off the new V3 WA76 and the Empirical Labs fatso. Still working on the SSL version 3 in NAM format for Genome, and that should be with you all by the weekend. Really excited to get that out. I know a lot of people are chomping at the bit to get hold of the new profiles, and as we'll see in a second, the SSLG pre is just stupid good. Yeah, so I kind of wanted to just like show a few of the profiles that maybe have been missed by a lot of people. I know I kind of made in the very early days, certainly over 8 months ago when I first started AnalogX, and I was really surprised because the WA76 hardware that I bought stood up really well to any 1176 compressor that I'd heard. Certainly the hardware was significantly better than any 1176. And in fact, we'll have a look at that. We'll do a quick comparison just to show you how analog this WA76 profile sounds. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into it. Just a very I have just a very basic kick and snare, and we're going to transform it from the middle of the road loop cloud kick and snare to something much more delightful with the new V3 presets. So what have we got? We just have a very simple kick and snare. We'll turn off the master bus profiles. Okay, nothing special, just a standard drum loop. So let's bring in the WA76 and let's see what damage we can do with this. And I am going to pre-warn you that this profile, one of the guys that was helping out with the testing has just said that he's never heard saturation like it before in the box. It sounded really, the saturation was off the scale. So you know, I'll let you be the judge of that. But here we go with the let's start with the CLA preset, CLA for drums. So you can see we've got the old V1 presets. We used to do a CP and a DP version a long time ago. You can see that's kind of August last year, right up to the brand new kind of V3 presets. So we're going to start with the CLA drums and then prepare to be blown away. So this is the bog standard loop with no processing. And this is the WA76 CLA drive profile. And just for the laugh, we are going to put the 1176 from Waves onto this track as well. And we're just going to switch that off for now. Okay, so here we go. Let's have a play around with the new 76 CLA drums profile. So you can hear on this profile that there is the attack is kind of at the slowest, which is still quite fast on an 1176, but at the slowest, and then the attack is almost at the fastest. So you're really getting that kind of squeezed in drum sound. Just allows the transient through enough, but really just kind of brings the body of the drums up, and really kind of yeah, well, you can hear what it does. Without. I mean, this thing eats peaks of fun, by the way, as well. Even if I turn it right down to get a kind of a similar average loudness, look at the difference between the peaks on the original track and then with the WA76 compressor on there. Without. With. Wow. A little bit more conservative. We can dial this back to get less compression. You can see the kind of the peaks are kind of back there on the drum now, so you know it will really clean up, and you are getting less compression. You're still kind of getting the sound of the hardware units. If we bypass that on and off, you're still going to hear the sound of the audio running through the hardware, but you're just not driving as hard into the compression without. Almost the same. You can feel it starting to clamp down on the drums now, and we're kind of, the dynamic range is slightly decreasing, so we're getting more average loudness, more control on the drum sound, more punch. And we're also picking up that a little bit of the saturation from driving into the 1176. Really getting into a kind of unit position now. Without. Without. With. Let's abuse it a little bit. Back to a more kind of usable, and this is fantastic on parallel as well. You know, you don't have to just kind of crush the life out of your drum bus. You know, we'd generally use a parallel tracker and give that a good spanking and then blend that in with the original drum track, but this is just for demonstration purposes, obviously. You know, that's really, really nice. Let's try a couple of the preset profiles so you can hear the difference. This is more of a kind of longer, more of a medium attack and a more longer release, just i.e. to smooth the drums out. Let's see what that gives us. With. I mean, you know, just like the hardware, the drums are still holding together. They sound more cohesive. They sound more alive. Let's, for a giggle, let's switch on the 1176 Waves plugin. Okay, it's not the fairest of examples. It's very old. I get it, but it gives you an idea of the comparison between how our ears have been, how we've been kind of sold a lie for all that time, and how we're told that, you know, this is like, you know, this is supposed to be like analog, but you know, I'm sure you'll agree that, you know, well, let's listen to it. So this is the 1176, and you know, to get a similar type of compression, we're probably going to have to try and drive this really hard and maybe up the ratio. We'll get to a similar loudness. I mean, that's kind of full compression, we're driving into the unit fully there, and we're not getting the anywhere near the kind of reduction on the peaks at all. It's just kind of almost. Let's try on the bluey because that could be a little bit more punchy. I can't believe I used to use this and think I was getting 1176 compression in the box from this thing. So let's bring it back to the similar level. And let's kind of A-B and switch over. Maybe a little bit more level, make it fair, eh? I mean, you know, you'd argue that there's a bit of snap there, and you know, but it's just, yeah, it's just not anywhere near analog, and it's not really compressing enough, and there's no real analog saturation, and yeah, I think. I mean, it's pretty embarrassing, isn't it? Even if we dial this back to like listen to the body, listen to the weight that's in the drums. That's what you get when you run through real hardware. It's adding weight and density and saturation, that's without, and bringing up the average level and smacking the hell out of these drums. Listen to the kick. Okay. Let's really smack it a bit, yeah? That is not compression to me. That is pretending to be compression. Without. That's probably enough of a comparison there, but you can clearly hear the difference between running audio through the AnalogX sampled hardware versus run-of-the-mill. Okay, it's 20 years old, I get it, but you know, software compression, and I get you're going to say there's other compressors out there that would be maybe a better comparison, but I just wanted to kind of help you see that comparison to basically see what can be done, and for the people that say that NAMM would never be able to do compression, and it clearly is, and it clearly sounds fantastic. So yeah, moving on. So let's try out the new fatso profiles for those of you that are still with us and I've not bored to death. So we've got 5 can't speak. We have 5 profiles from the fatso, and there's a variation of, right, you know, people like a lot of spank. People with the compression, people like a lot of compression action because you can dial it back. You know, you're not bought in to just say it has to be fully spanked. So yeah, we've got some bus profiles and some spanky profiles. So let's have a little listen to the bus version first, and let's see what this does to our drums. Bearing in mind we've just been listening to an 1176. There's a little bit more of a kind of there's more kind of a tape emulation thing going on with the fatso, as well as you know, it's very versatile in terms of compression, but you know, it is a little bit kind of almost SSL style to me, the way that it kind of smacks, but you know, it's a thing of its own. It's world renowned. It's the fatso. It does compression so well. So let's have a quick listen to the fatso, and we'll just do a before and after. With straight away you can hear that kind of, if you listen to the kick drum, you can hear that saturation hitting the kick drum. Without. With. So let's drive into the bus, and remember that the bus profiles are not meant to be as kind of spanked, so that we've got that we've got more control over, you know, we might just want on a drum bus, we might want, let's say, you know, just somewhere there, it's lovely on a kick and snare, beautiful. Without. With. So let's drive a bit more. You can feel the warmth coming in, moving into kind of saturated now, heavily saturated. Let's try one of the more kind of spanky. So this is a kind of maximum spank with the warm button 1 engaged. Sorry, the 1 transformer and the warm engaged. Without. With. Moving on to profile 3. Lovely and warm. You can hear that warmth kick in. Let's hear that in the mix. Let's hear the 1176 in the mix. Where's the love gone? A little bit more conservative with the level. Let's try this with a little bit of SSL preamp love. And the last profile. Put some love back on the master bus. Okay, I don't know whether to show you anything else or whether I think that's it for today, but just a bit of an update. We've got the Manly Vari-Mu limiter. That pack, the new pack that's a V1 to V3. That's coming very soon. We've got the Anamod ATS Scully tape machine again, which sounds amazing. We've got the version 3 Studer coming up. We've got the Chandler Xena, which we've already released. We've got the Infrasonic 2, and plus the upgrade on Infrasonic 1, which is now Series 3. We've got the Neve 33609 coming. I'm thinking of pulling together a pick and mix special. This is all V3 stuff, so this is a combination for people that maybe can't afford to buy multiple packs. Maybe they just want a blend of some stuff. So there's, as you can see, we've got some Portico stuff in there, a Pi compressor, a Pi limiter that's not been released. There's loads of stuff that people haven't heard yet. There's the Elysia Karakter Saturation, which sounds amazing. Let's listen to it anyway, since we're here. Yeah, this is crazy saturation. Turn the preamp off. Yeah. You're not hearing saturation like that, should I say that's into distortion, but you're certainly not hearing that on any other plugin that I've heard. So cleans up beautifully, see? There's no... You can almost use this as kind of a preamp, you know, like we do with the SSLG there. You hear this with and without. With. Wow. So we're already into kind of medium saturation there, towards heavy saturation, and into the distortion which you've heard, but you can clearly hear how that just cleans up. Lovely. If we bypass that, you're almost back to the clean sound. There's a little bit there still, which is lovely. There we go, almost identical to the bypass sound, apart from we're just starting to drive in now, so you can hear the unit, you know, the profile is all starting saying, okay, come through the unit. Yeah, we're letting more signal through, we're letting more through, we're letting more through. Yeah, more level through, and that's, so if you see this as almost like a tap opening the signal and allowing a tiny bit until we're finally allowing all the signal to kind of go through the unit. It's a good way to think about it in terms of how to interact with these profiles. I mean, I really like that around there. reminds me what the SSL does, but of course the SSL is a preamp, so there's kind of less distortion there, but that is just superb. Love that sound. Into the saturator. Maybe too much. So you probably wouldn't need both, but it just gives you a kind of feel of what can be achieved through the different profiles. What else have we got in the box of tricks? For those of you that haven't heard the Chandler Zinni yet, this profile is really special. This is the harmonic distortion section of the Chandler only, and boy, this is really special. Let's hear this. Eating those peaks. So as with the profiles, it's a little bit of something, not too much, depending on what kind of vibe or what sound you're going for. It really, you know, the sound really opens up, or you can really drive into it by dialing it in, really open the sound back up by kind of pulling back on it. Amazing saturation on the Chandler. Let's try one of the other Chandler compression presets. Woo! Without. With. Feel the weight that brings by kind of limiting that kind of kick drum and snare together without destroying the transients. It really is classy, and what you would expect from running audio through the original Chandler hardware device. It just is fantastic. Let's hear that in the mix. Fabulous, absolutely fabulous. What else have we got? We have in here, there's just so much stuff. We've got the BG2 British Fat compressor. This is like a fast attack, amazing tube compressor. When you want something that's not as kind of not imparting as much of a kind of classic tone or flavour onto the sound, a little bit more kind of less known, probably better for vocals and things like that, but full tube, loads of transformers in it, and it sounds really classy. Let's have a quick listen to this on drums. And you can kind of hear that kind of, it's not the fastest compression in the world on a tube device, but you can really hear it kind of grab the front of that kick drum and really bring out that kind of, and it's bringing out the kind of tube sound and the tube saturation. I just love what it's doing to. Maybe I wouldn't use it on the kick, but the clap and snare together makes it sound huge, absolutely huge. Without. We've got the black box mild saturation. Love this. Without. Again, this thing eats the peaks for fun, it really does. Look how low we've got to get on the peaks to get back to an average loudness level. It's still louder and it's probably 3 or 4 dB below it. Let's hear that in the mix. And I think with the air tone, the air engaged on the HG2, you can, on the black box, you can really hear that high end kind of open up and the air on the drums. If I just kind of A/B that, you'll be able to hear it. Listen to the high end of the drums. Without. With. Fabulous, absolutely fantastic. Can abuse that. Okay guys, that's all for today. Thanks for watching. Loads of Series 3 coming, so keep tuned, keep your eye on the web shop. The Fatso's out now, loads coming. Thanks for everybody's support, thank you so much. I don't want to give too much away at the moment, but I will leave you by saying that talks have started around an AnalogX plugin. I can't say any more than that, who it's with, when it might come. I don't want to give too much away, but we are in very early talks. So I just wanted to let everybody know that, and that we're taking AnalogX to the next level. And thank you for believing in what we're doing and the sound and the product. And we'll see you all soon. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye bye.